As the title states, after just a few days I've decided to return the DJI Osmo 360 camera. A number of reasons, and as I stated in my initial review video, one of my main requirements for my equipment is the simplicity and ease of use. That applies to the operation of the camera and also in the edit. And whilst my initial opinion of the Osmo 360 was very good, I thought it was a fantastic camera and it was super easy to set up and start recording. After a few days use, it was quite clear that it wasn't the camera for me. The first issue was with the audio. Now, just like the other DJI action cameras, the 360 claimed to link seamlessly with the DJI mics. That's the Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2. And initially I was able to achieve a connection very quickly and maintain that connection throughout initial recording. However, if I stopped recording and turned the camera off, it was a little bit of a lottery as to whether or not it would reconnect, and I would have to go through the entire pairing process again, which was just not practical. Most of my content is out when I'm running and I just want the equipment to work. It wasn't always clear on the screen if I had lost connection as well, so I'd recorded a couple of clips with long pieces to camera, only to find out afterwards that the mic hadn't recorded and I was relying on the inbuilt mic in the camera, which in a windy situation was simply unusable. I spoke with DJI support, both on an online chat and over 2 phone calls, and they were extremely helpful. Took me through a number of settings issues and made sure I had the latest firmware installed on the mics, and then trying again, it did appear to have resolved the issues, but I attempted to record a vlog post yesterday, and when I got back to edit the footage, the audio just wasn't there. So there'd obviously been some issues when out and about. So that was disappointing, but in itself probably wouldn't have been the reason for returning, but it was a pretty major setback. I chose this particular camera because it was DJI, and I'm quite heavily invested in DJI. I've got drones, mics, action cameras, and they all work superbly. I'm currently recording on the Action 4, which is still probably my all-time favourite action camera. I've had a couple of these now, and I prefer this to the newer Action 5. So number 2 in the list of issues was the post-production process, and that really is aimed at both the DJI Mimo app and the desktop studio, which, if I'm honest, just simply isn't ready and isn't fit for purpose. My initial review was done in just a couple of clips, and it was a relatively straightforward process to edit those using the desktop studio app and to clip them together ready for further editing in my regular video editing software. It did take quite a while to export the footage, but I didn't really think too much of that. However, subsequent footage has proved much more problematic, as it's been spread across multiple clips with lots of reframing and lots of clipping together, and the export time on that particular clip, which was around the same file size, but it just took an absolute age, and I thought it had frozen on a number of occasions because the taskbar just wasn't moving up. In the end, it took about 3 hours to export a 20-minute 4K file, and if you add that to the initial reframing time and then the further post-production time, it just wouldn't work for me as a regular use camera. Love the footage, think the video quality is superb, and the concept of a 360 camera is fantastic for running, climbing, hill walking, all those types of activities where you don't really want to spend too much time focusing on framing the subject, and you just want to hold the camera out there and focus on what you're actually doing. I must also add that throughout this process, DJI customer support, both online and on the telephone, has been superb. They've really tried to help out. They've contacted me back when they've said they would, and they've tried to get to the bottom of the issues I've been facing. And when I made the decision to return the product, they didn't question it whatsoever, just sent me a returns label and asked me to pop it in the post. So well done DJI for that. I hope you can resolve these issues, and I will definitely be looking at the updates and future iterations of a product as time goes by. But for now, I'll be back with a trusty action camera, and I'll occasionally get the Insta360 X3 out for those adventure days. So that's it for now. My name's Paul, and that was Paul Runs Daily.